Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. The fire to liberate oneself from what he feels illusion or ignorance is the required quality to open the door to satsang. It is the fire, it is the urgency to realize what is indicated by the sages, which will make your ears hear and your eyes see. And it is not a hearing and a seeing of the senses. That's why it is called to realize the self. So, satsang is the nature of what's real. It's always there. Now we have to make an appointment because practically we cannot be one-on-one all the time with everybody. So actually satsang is more a spontaneous and natural talk of what you really are, and it can happen at any time. And generally it is not the object of a talk. It is not disclosed like this by the sages, but because, as I say, it's impossible to be one-on-one, we are obliged to make a date and to meet. So, a few indications are always eternally perfect. You are not what you experience, because in fact you are not even the experiencer. Oh, where are we told then? Just where we never live. You see, it is the fake attribution that one does, that one who thinks is somebody, does to himself, that is the trouble. Otherwise, you have not to realize what is always there, which is ungraspable by any senses and which is ununderstandable by any conceptualization. So, what is needed for the one who still search who I am, or what is real, what is the truth, what is God? What is needed is to hear that whatever you will express is not it. It is prior the expression, any expression, even the expression of I. I is the root cause, is the first expression of the self. I say self for the sake of language, means who you really are, or what you really are. I don't care about those words. You don't stand, you don't sit. If you find it So, if one still search and it's clear what he has to ask please empty your mind. Expose the doubts and the questions or whatever convictions even you have. In satsang is a very good space for it, because one honor, one has a passion for the subject which is never a subject. If you feel you have heard everything, you know everything, and still, for some reason that you don't know why, you cannot say that you realize yourself, or you feel still sometimes situation or unfulfillment, must be that there is something there which you attach to. So please, free yourself. It's your birthright, as said my master. It's our birthright. And it will always be right now. Right now. Right now I have enough experience. I know that through all the experiences of my body and feelings and mind, this curiosity I had in the past, thinking it will lead me there. Now I understood, I've seen, I failed, I'm still the same one. Still I'm left with the one I think I am. And that is the trouble. So, I just express a few things that can occupy the mind or the heart of someone. If you have other ideas, you can tell me. Something must have driven you. You here. Maybe just the love for it that already invades you. Or maybe the need for that love which never leaves you. Voilà. There is not much to say, and yet, as I saw with my master, he could not help to express it for how many years? I don't know, maybe 70 years, or maybe more. In all his life, there was not a day that topic was not there. Not an hour, through silence or through expression. Nobody knows. It's a very strange disease to be taken by what's real. Feel comfortable and don't accept to still be a seeker. Why? And if you feel I'm not more a seeker, but still something moves you, what could it be? Just question.
Yes. Well, I'm still a seeker. I cannot help it.
But you love it because last time you were very happy to say so.
I was there.
And you didn't listen to me then.
No, we didn't say that. No, but I think the seeking is it's for permanence. The seeking seems to be for some permanence in this body mind. That's just keeps popping up all the time.
Yeah, but it's a concept. It's a concept. You see, since one doesn't know anything else than he thinks he is a body-mind, so of course, as everything his experiences shows it again and again, everything is impermanent, he will conceive that the happiness or the peace will be in the permanency of things. But you see, the permanency, if one could express this word, will not be in this realm of the body-mind. It's impossible. You may have sometimes experiences of a permanent state of an eternal state, and for some reason, then you lose it. So it's not permanent as you think it has to be. They are just experiences. So, if you really want the permanency, there is no way out. It is not in your mind. It will not be in your body. It is what you are. And that, you cannot experience it otherwise. It will again be permanent. Because it's an expression. It is an experience. It is someone who knows it or experiences it. So, definitively, what you are will not be touched, will never be shown by the body mind. And you see, the indications is to give up a concept. I tell you, you know it maybe. Everything is impermanent in this. Everything is permanent. Run after what is permanent. It is to give you the fire for something else that you don't know yet. It is a new concept to remove the first concept, I am this body-mind. And yet, whatever you can express is not it. So who you are is not even permanency. It's not in the realm of comparisons. It cannot be shown. It will never be shown. And that's why there will be nobody there to lose it. Somebody can always appear, but then it is seen, that's the expression of myself, is not who I am. Not to go to this, that everything is that, but it will not help you at this age, at this stage. You have first to negate even the belief you are I. Before enjoying whatever I present. And that's why there is this language of the sages. There is enjoyment, but there is no more enjoyer. You cannot realize that if you take enjoyment for it. You have first to root out the belief I am the enjoyer, or I am I. How? You don't know. You know how? It's very easy. In fact, it's very easy, and it's very difficult because we are attached and we are full of desire to work with the mind. So how is drop the how, even if what follows would look like solving your search. You cannot meditate it. Meditate means use your mind. You cannot use your mind. And when this is said, it's not to put you in a state. It's just that you realize that your true nature is prior to the mind. We make a step too much. We make a step which gives that sense of separation, which is to identify with I, to grasp that concept, I am somebody, I am born, I have a personal life, this and that. Till it disappears. So, let's not try to ignore the world. Let's have so much passion or fire to realize that we are able to just be free a split second from these movements of the mind. And that will do the job.
My question is about motivation. It seems to be that the more you realize that, or let go of the concepts or constructs of what you are and what you're supposed to do, being what you are, it's the less you want to do, naturally. And so what drives, for example, what drives you to offer this satsang? So the seeker comes to...
You know, this question, if I am busy with this question, I would be in trouble. So I don't touch the question. It's like that. If you touch one thing that the mind presents, you will be in trouble. Because you may be satisfied by some answer or experience, but it will not last. And then, since you believe that this is real, you will go further with something better, beyond, prior, something more, deeper.
Yeah. Is it universal advice to, if the question is too hard, you just...
No. I just say that for the one who wants to realize himself. I don't say that. It's not a recipe for the world. For the world, you have a beautiful tool, which are the body and the senses and the mind. No, it is, you know, it's a very specialized subject. It's only for that. And it's only for the one who wants to realize, otherwise it may go wrong.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to glimpse into what kind of questions you ask your master in that sense.
Oh, I think the mind is the same for everybody. I ask all what I hear in satsang, and maybe what the mind presents, till it made me understand that it is not, as long as I would have a curiosity with the senses and the feelings and the conceptualization, as long I just blind myself by myself. You see, you have to be enough, it is not a question of age, you have to be enough exhausted, or the impression, I've seen enough, something else has to speak now. So then the master speaks. And that language is somehow understood. Otherwise, you bring any neighbor who is not busy with this subject, it may look strange talk, So it has a meaning only for those who would like not to suffer. Generally, it's that the search starts like this, and then if they are lucky, they find their ways, and the master will tell you, "Oh, my dear child, you never suffer. It's because you confuse yourself with the body-mind. That's true. There is pleasure and suffering there. You are not that." But it may take time to swallow that, or to just surrender to that. You see, it may take time, doesn't matter. It is the self-inquiry or the devotion, extreme, I would say. Extreme devotion to the trust that what the masters say is true, is real. I will not be deluded by the direction he tells me. Or he doesn't tell, but by his silence. But you see, the master will always play with silence and words. And so many ways.
Thank you.
And sometimes, and very often, it was the most striking words of the master were not so much when he was answering you, for yet the master answered for everything. It was, you were taken by surprise. Stop. You see, you have to get this experience of a stop to see that you are not the mind. And then one sees with an amazing awe that one is always busy with his mind. That's why he cannot give a space, even a split second in 24 hours, to what is always there but unseen.
It's always good to hear.
Yeah, if you hear what exactly?
I don't know. It's rare here.
Yeah. It's good for a while to be very much reminded. So you are left with what you know that you are not.
This is, I can never say.
Yeah. It is untouched.
It's always enough.
Always enough?
Enough.
I don't understand you.
It's always enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. No! It's a new expression for me. No, what do you... It's new. I never heard that before. I heard it's never enough. Yes, my dear.
You mentioned suffering, letting go of the suffering, says we choose not to suffer. But for many people, I think it often is harder to let go of somebody else's suffering. So it's this compassion that drives the ego more than
But you know, it's not about giving up suffering. And can you, if you suffer in the body, can you give it up? I mean, the body suffers.
Yeah.
Let it be yours or someone. It is to give up the concept you are the body. And even a free being can have a suffering body. Suffering can happen to the body.
And what about somebody else's suffering? When
it's the same.
Yeah.
If you don't solve your own suffering, you cannot solve the suffering of others. You can always be good, and but you cannot really solve the suffering of the other, because deeply we suffer because we mistake oneself for an attribution, which is, I am this body and this mind. It's an expression, of course. It is your expression. But it's not who you really are. That is the whole point of satsang, you see. It is not a recipe to suffer less or to... This comes naturally to be compassionate and so on, of course. It's much better to be this way if circumstances put you in these circumstances. But that is a natural and it is punctual. Satsang is to solve who I am in reality, and if you solve that, you may understand who is the other one.
Yeah.
And that peace means not to be preoccupied anymore in the mind and in the body about who you are, will help the world. But it is not the wish of anybody. There is nobody there. Otherwise you don't know who you really are. Again, it will be an imagination through some experience, some state.
That's the question. Even when you feel that you can help, you have to wonder whether you should, whether that would make any.
But if you are put in
difference.
circumstances where you see your neighbor, and when I say neighbor, if you see the other suffering, you just help and forget. No, this is good. Of course.
It's still a concept, isn't it? That this is good.
Yes,
it's still a choice based on the
it's
concept.
better than to do war. Okay. Now we are in the realm of others and I as somebody. So you can't help. You can't help to have peace and war. In this manifestation, it is dual. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. It doesn't manifest itself. So, better to be good. Of course, it's a good wish. Let there be peace and love for all beings of the universe. Why to say so? Because one knows that it's dual. There is war. There is deep suffering here. It's a good wish. But you see, it's another thing to run after what's real. Who am I in reality? And don't worry, from there, the expression will be as it is. And you will have not this question, it will just be done or undone. And you forget. I think you have not seen the difference between to be a saint or to be a free being. A saint will be, and I love saints, happily they are in this world, but they will be busy, it is their love to do good. To do good. To try to do good. What a lucky world they are there. Now, for some reason, some can't help not to be satisfied like that, and they find a master who says, even a saint may not be necessarily free. So here you choose what is your demand, and there is no judgment here. So you go for your demand, fulfill it entirely, whatever it is.
Thank you. I think that's a wonderful way to put it, and it helps a lot.
And go for it. But as you see, it is so important to have saints who do good. It is as important to have at least one who says, also, search who you are. The root of misery is because you think you are somebody. Who am I in reality? So, both are necessary for different reasons.
I always feel very touched by this statement of Ramana. You have to want this more than a drowning man once there. And when you're drowning, you want to ever lot. So
I have known, because it's a true story. I was with a Swami who dedicated his life to be with God. And he was drawing. I was with my master and my brother on the bank of the Ganga. And he went, and there was this water. And the Swami was drawing. And he said, "Help! Help!" My brother went to save him, and when Master received him on the bank, very compassionately said, "You didn't ask for God." You're right. Great teaching. That's what I said in the beginning. You need this fire for liberation, fire. And this can be, how you would say, attisé, fueled by your own unsatisfaction, your own desire for the truth, the company of those who have the same, who caught the same fire, the beautiful text of the same lineage who only speaks of what is not.
It's not you.
Yeah, you have to be contagious. Why you think one is so happy, and many have got this experience, to be in the company of the master? Because they were contagious. Contagious, you are contagious. But you see, you have to give enough time to that contagion so that when the master leaves the body, you have all the tools with you to realize if it is not yet done. Because I will never trust this samsara. Never. You can't trust this manifestation. You can be swept away in 1 second, and you never know when the self calls you back.
It's probably a very stupid question.
No, stupid question. Already you are troubled because it's stupid. There is no stupid question.
The question coming up is why are we here? Who are we?
In this planet?
Why are we here?
Yeah, you have to solve that. You have to solve that. But you know, I tell you for a shortcut, that what is asking this question? What is this question? What is it?
Some way of understanding the mystery or the experience or the confusion.
Yeah, that's why you ask this question, because there is a lot of confusion. And, yeah, but what is the nature of that question? What is it?
It is to make sense of the duality.
I agree, but it's a thought.
Yes.
It's a simple thought that someone the owner of that thought, who takes himself to be born, to be somebody, as God, and finds very essential to solve, because his personal life is a bit or a lot absurd and whatnot, you see. So, the shortcut is, can you take this risk? Don't try to solve the question, but try to question the owner of the question. Who is the owner of the question? No, I want an answer. Who is the owner of the question?
So I guess it's what you're talking about is this split second.
No. Oh, no. Then there is no owner of anything. No, the owner of who has this question? It's not me. Who has this question?
From the ego or the...
Yeah, but ego is already a good dress, so you are safe to say the ego. Who is asking this question? You tell it all the time, so tell it now too.
I'm so
I. Stop there.
Right now.
I ask a question, feels that, imagine that, and etc. I, because I is taken for real, everything has to be taken for real, and they need question and answer and experiences and whatnot. And nothing will be solved there about the meaning of life, the meaning of who I am, all those ontological, metaphysical questions cannot be answered there. But you can realize from where this I comes. Try to see if you can express I. Can you say I? Yeah. So it's an expression. And in fact you mean I, me, body, mind, the one I know. So it's an expression. You are not, in reality, you are not an expression only. So you keep quiet a split second. Then, where I is expressed, from where I is expressed, like that. And you go again and again that direction.
Is it like knocking at the door of silence?
The door of silence?
Is it like knocking at the door of silence?
The door of silence, but silence, who knows there is silence?
I experience it.
Yeah. Very good. You are very sincere. I experience that. Whatever you experience is not everlasting. Will you contradict me? And you know why? It's good to understand why. The experiences in the past, it may come sometimes still alive, but it disappears because of this bloody I, the owner of the experience, you see. Whatever, I can experience everything. I can experience everything. And it is infinitely experienced if you want to dig there. But it will always be thrown in the memory in the past at some point. Because you take it for real. You take the owner for real, I. That's why in satsang there is only one indication. Because if you can question this, the reality of this I, all the rest will collapse or be put at its proper place. You cannot confuse anymore what is seen, experienced, felt, or understood for what you are. So don't be busy to try to go back to silence or to fix it or to think it's real, more real than the notes. It is of another level of consciousness of the mind, of course. It's not more real. So, can you drop it? And whenever it presents itself, can you say, no, I don't go there. That direction you have to go. Don't fall into silence.
I'm thinking it's facing the fact of the mind and pushing the mind down and saying no more thinking, no more. Even thinking silence is a concept or an experience.
Yeah, it is an experience. So when you say no, you say it's a concept, but when you say no, it means it's an action. It's a no. So you don't go into the movement of the mind. You are left with what?
Nothing.
Better. And now forget that nothing is.
And also, what about yes?
But why you jump to another question?
What?
You don't even give a split second to that? That's how the mind tyrannies you. You have to see that. It is very important. I'm very happy you see that now. Jumping. And that will not end except the moment you start to see, oh, again. Stop. Yeah, wait. Yeah?
I've got 2 points. One is a follow-up to this gentleman's question. Follow-up regards thoughts. Surely one can never actually stop thoughts. One can only have a choice of following thoughts one cannot follow.
Is to say, that's what I mean.
Yes.
So don't follow your thoughts, what happened?
Yeah. And the other point is you made...
You follow your thoughts, okay. And you see, because there is an interest there. You think it will solve something about realization. No. No. What?
The motivation is about getting clear.
No.
Now you are clear. But it's still a state, huh? You will be confused too.
You mentioned during the previous satsang the importance of vigilance, and I can identify things like the reactive behaviour of being defensive as being an immediate marker of the ego being involved.
Ego. You speak of the one you really think you are as a third person, the ego. You are safe, I tell you. It's I. Don't speak of ego. Don't bring this word here. I don't like it. Because it's a trick of mind again.
Well, one can be defensive without using I.
I is offensive, I is defensive, I is accepting, I is rejecting.
In simple body language. Defensiveness could be expressed in body language without.
Why you go to the body? We try to solve something very important.
I'm trying to illustrate my point. It's not all.
You want to be clear, okay, you are clear.
I'm looking for clarification.
You want, yeah, okay. So, the clarification is that I want you to see that so far you have jumped from the first question to the body mind, and you jump. That is the mind, you see? And where there is a mind, it means there is somebody having a mind. It's healthy to think so. It's a clarity. So, wherever, it's good to be clear, but then I tell you, why do you go back to the body when one has to leave it behind, I mean, as a concept, as an idea, because when you sleep, you are not a body nor a mind, there is nothing there. So you always catch it with the waking state. So you have to go to a total different direction if you want, but I don't want to impose it. If you want to realize what the wise men say. Yeah, okay. So be aware for a while that you jump here and there. And when you see it, it's already half done. It means I am not what I can see.
Yeah, I saw in my own behavior a reaction when you did not appear to understand what I was saying. I became reactive there.
Ah, but
It's my own.
don't complicate yourself. Just try to be a very simple I, and then it will be. Then you can stay alone with that, and then go back to from the whole first one. The mind is complicated. Empty your mind like that. Whatever you grasp, know that it's a habit to feed your mind. You see? So go towards emptying rather than to fulfilling and feeding the mind. Yeah? You will see how clear you will become. And then you will ask, but who is clear?
So I realize the mind is running, and then I say stop, or the body mind is running.
You have not to stop it.
And then I say stop.
No. You have not to stop. How can you stop it? You cannot stop this manifestation. It's a constant movement. But know that if you see it, it's not you. It's not who I am in reality.
Because yes,
Yeah,
that's why. Then I'm having the feeling I'm completely stopped because I see it's not real. It comes from the eye, but the hamster wheel it's just running and running still.
It will always run till you die. The question is not to stop anything. The question is to demystify the nature of things. Whatever you see is unreal by nature. I'm not that. I told you, no master will say to stop this manifestation. It's not in the eye of anybody, it is the self-joy expressing itself. Yeah, it's for you. Yeah. So, all the everybody is there. Welcome. Many children, and often the adults say so, oh, in my childhood, I have known some empty moments, some beautiful empty moments. So, it may happen to you too. And know it is at most a blessing. Because it is the expression, still an expression, the expression of what you really are. It's a moment of rest. It's a moment which allows you to realize that you are not even what you think you are. And since you grow, you search so many things, you search for happiness, you have a lot of curiosity in the body mind. It's great to grow like this. But remember that you hear sometimes that you are not the body and you are not the mind in reality. Don't try to understand it. Just now, close your eyes, open your heart, and let those words sink into you. That's it. And know the importance of it, even if you don't realize it yet.
There were 2 more kids outside.
But they will bring it.
Could you bring this outside? You don't fight for this one?
They are coming, they just yes.
Is that enough? Just to allow the empty mind?
Just allow what?
Is it enough to allow the empty moment?
It's a blessing.
There's so much stuff happens all the time, and I guess it's still, the empty moment is always available, but I'm still not 100% clear on how much I need to get involved.
You see, you call it empty by comparison. You call it empty through comparison.
By comparison.
By comparison. Because you were very busy.
Yes.
Suddenly you have a moment, a blessing, I call it.
Yes.
A kiss of your whole self.
Yes.
But a kiss. Don't confuse a kiss for what is.
Don't confuse.
A kiss for what is. So that kiss will give you fire for freedom.
Oh yes.
Yes. Will give you love for it.
Yes, it does.
Love to go back to the source of noise and emptiness.
Yes. I just don't know why I choose to leave it, but I do.
Because it's impermanent. It is still in the mind.
The empty moment?
Yes.
Ah.
That's why I call it a kiss.
Yes.
It's an expression still.
Yes.
In the mind. Of course, it is not in the same realm of the ordinary mind, but you see, the consciousness, the mind, consciousness, the manifestation of what is, has so many levels. Emptiness is deep. But still, it is the mind. It has to be internal. Still a blessing, because you need some call. You have to see some call. It's this direction.
Yes. So that's the direction.
Yes, it's the direction.
Yes.
And whenever you can, don't stop there.
Yes.
It's time breathe.
Unreal. And the one who is asking the question is unreal. Do I see it? Unreal by nature. Comes and goes.
You see, realization cannot be an experience because it is heard at this date, this time, this hour, this minute, I got realized. Still, it is an event in time. You cannot confuse an event for it. Realization is not an experience, cannot refer to an experience. Time comes from it disappearing. And what is the time? It is called I am born. That is the time.
It's the time manifestation of confusion, then, when we...
It's the manifestation of your own self.
The true self, or...
Real self, yeah.
And in that sense, I cannot be not realized.
You're always realized.
That makes sense.
Everyone. Everybody is just realized. Just now. All the time. Ever. If it could not listen to the mind, it is what's up?
I remember reading once where Papaji said, was asked if it requires vigilance. And his answer delighted and surprised me. He said, with every breath. My question is, the quality of vigilance and also who is being vigilant.
But you see, when you are vigilant, you will not ask this question because you are so vigilant. Where to enter your mind?
So vigilance is just this.
It's what you are.
Vigilance
it's the awareness of what you are.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Otherwise, we confuse with the vigilance. Oh, I should not drop my glass, you see. Otherwise, it's a sign of non-realization. That is I. This is the I consciousness.
So
no, the vigilance spoken by the Master is not to enter into the mind.
So it's the quality of awareness is a vigilance.
It is awareness. Yeah.
If there is the ocean, and then suddenly there is a wave, that wave being the I that is created. When one is that I, that creation, that is an illusion somehow, that has been created for some reason, shouldn't I, as an I that is only momentarily and temporary, try to see how far and how I can play with this body, this mind, this emotion?
Yes, you can. Nobody stops you.
Because anyways, one day the wave will crash back down and become again an ocean.
You have to experiment a lot, you see. And then maybe one day you may feel I have enough of it. But if you don't have enough of it, experience, see, explore, dig, dive. Yes. Yes.
My question was, if after experiencing one split second of this peace, this stillness, is there a way that if it is only a deeper level of the mind and of consciousness to live in this state and to go and use your mind for a minute, 2 minutes of a day instead of it being the overall factor There's a way to live like that and still function.
Absolutely. I never saw a man so well functioning than Master.
Yes. How?
He will not tell you because it's so natural, you see. You see that this manifestation now, what's going on, is already the expression of that. We can't change an inch of it. It's already expressed in its perfect way.
We don't live it. But we don't live it. We live in a state of thinking about the next moment.
The body-mind doesn't live it, it's true. The body-mind lives in this duality. So that's why you see a split second, a real split second will be enough to see that one confuses itself for this body-mind. Now, because of the force of habits of this body-mind, of this somebody who is born, of the past, it will still appear, oh, I'm lost in this samsara, I am doing that, oh, I've been so identified so long, and suddenly, because of that split second, suddenly you may realize it. And if you start to love or to see the essentiality of it, you will love to hear that voice stop. Just give to oneself a second. And that will work. No. I don't believe that realization is a permanent state. So split second is enough. But by this split second, it happens that at some point, there is a radicality. You don't want to go there. And even if you went for 10 hours, the moment you realize, I don't go there, I don't feel it because I have seen what it is. There is no trace of it because it's unreal. So life will pass on like this.
But then if it's unreal, everything is already unreal, so...
Yeah.
Then what's the point of anything?
I wonder, there is a point for those who are taken by that virus of I want to liberate myself. Otherwise, it doesn't change much in this manifestation. There is no much science, and I am radical, there is no science with it. Because everything is already a sign of the self. That one with the mind cannot comprehend that.
What if one is, can realize, knows that the mind is not self and is not who one is, but is still plagued or infatuated with thinking?
You cannot do otherwise. If you still live, then you cannot do otherwise. Some people, but that depends on everybody's manifestation, some are quieter than others. Looks like our great example, Ramana was quieter even than my master Papaji. But who cares? It doesn't mean anything. When I say that, I speak of the manifestation. Yeah. So the spiritual concept is blown away. To be as a person permanently living in an unmanifested way. blue-dot concept.
Yeah. I just right now want to express gratitude. Yeah. And the realization freshly that this really goes nowhere, no matter what shows up in manifestation.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Gratitude.
Yes.
You
Honor it. Honor it.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay.
Would you share your meeting with Master?
It's in the book.
Oh, great. Ah.
Nothing ever happened in the book.
Okay.
But I must say, of course, to have met in one incarnation the Master who removes the belief you are incarnated. I would recommend that luck. All this happens because of him.
I thought then you'd written your own book. That would be nice.
Bas? No.
Almost.
Good.
What? Like all of these realms of consciousness,
All of what?
all of the realms of consciousness
Yeah.
that we talked about,
Yeah.
are all within levels of the mind. So
Yeah.
what in fact is outside of the mind?
What is
What is outside of the mind?
outside of the mind? What is?
What is outside of the mind?
What is? You know, the mind is not outside. Where could it be outside? It's rather included. How can something be outside? It's rather included. It's included in what is here.
included plus what? It's included implies there's something else.
Included
the mind is included.
Yeah.
So it's included implies that there's something else as well.
Implies something else as well. If the mind thinks so, yes, of course. It's because of the mind that we speak like that, huh? Otherwise... That is real quietness, you see, is when you have understood all that, you have realized all that, you see, that after all this manifestation wakes up with this I mind. And once you have dissolved the concept of reality, what is called peace is the mind surrenders to need to put those questions first, to need a solution, to need all that. Yeah. That's peace, you can say it like that. Not the peace, flat peace. There is not a dust of preoccupation and sorrow.
But as Brahman has said, the stick that turns the funeral pyre is itself consumed in the flame.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. And when that stick reappears, it knows it is not real. Because it reappears as much as this body-mind doesn't die. It's not the stick which disappears, it's the concept. Thank you very much.